northern Sri Lanka, because of General Vaidya's attack on the temple, the Sikh terrorism could be eliminated. But subsequently, General Vaidya, after he retired, he was given security, but he was assassinated by a Sikh terrorist supporter. That issue shows that terrorists are to be eliminated. The security, whatever the security which can be provided, cannot prevent an attack, whether it's a civilian leader. You see, we have sacrificed our leaders. How many of our Sri Lankan leaders, the presidents and ministers, the military leaders, the navy commander, and so many people were killed. You see, the assassins have the advantage. Lord Mountbatten was killed by the terrorists, the Irish terrorists. You see, anywhere these things could happen. And Margaret Thatcher escaped death very, very, luckily, because she was occupying a different room in the same hotel where the attack took place, and several people died when the Irish tried to assassinate Mrs. Margaret Thatcher. So these things happen, but the security is given according to the requirement. I don't think that Indian assassination or anywhere assassination of a general or a commander could be compared. That has to be assessed, and the government has to decide whether it is required. I think I'm not an expert on military intelligence or the security, so I'm unable to give answer to the requirement of a security for a person. But the government, the experts should analyze this, and they should give the necessary security.
Okay. So we're speaking to Mr. Senadhira, and now we were discussing some issues with respect to India, because you've been also a long time in India. Now let's go back to Norway, because Norway is again very interesting in the context of the peace process as well, and especially the time you were in Norway, Mr. Senadhira, because it was from 2002 to 2005, right? And this was a crucial time where there was a memorandum of understanding between the both sides, and then the Norwegians also, through the monitoring mission in Sri Lanka, was monitoring the Sri Lankan peace process. So my question to you is, from that time to now, how has Norway's relation with Sri Lanka and perspectives have evolved?
Norway is during they have made several efforts to bring peaceful solution. But Norway had its own agendas. They wanted, first of all, Norway is one of the richest countries in the world, if not the richest. Well, next to Brunei, according to those scales, Norway is the richest country in the world. So, Norway has money. They feel that they have no recognition in the international arena. So, they want to be recognized as the world peacemaker. Towards that agenda, they wanted to bring in the two parties together, not only here, in various other countries, Sudan, Philippines, the Middle East, the Palestine, the several African nations, several Latin American nations. They tried to bring about peace. Unfortunately, all these efforts have ended in failure. And Sri Lanka, they thought there was a possibility of success after the agreement of Memorandum of Understanding signed in February 2002. With that, they had very high hopes of a peaceful settlement in Sri Lanka. So to achieve that, because they have failed elsewhere, they wanted to somehow achieve this in Sri Lanka. And to achieve that, they took the side of the LTT because of their argument. In fact, Mr. Erik Solheim, now who is the international assistance minister of the government of Norway, then he was not an MP, he was just peace envoy. After losing the parliamentary election in 2000, he was attached to the foreign ministry as the peace ambassador. And that time, during my tenure in Norway, he told me once, when I asked the question, why do you take the side of the LTT during the issues where there are clear violations of the agreement, and you have not taken any, or rather you have not given any warning to LTT on these violations, whereas you warn us the mere drop of a hat, you warn the military of Sri Lanka not to violate the agreement, ceasefire agreement. Then he said, it is interesting argument. What he said was, we had very great difficulty in getting the LTT out of the cave. They were in the jungle. So to get them to the negotiating table for peace talks, we had to make great efforts, and they have confidence in us. And the moment they feel that we try to reprimand them, we will lose that confidence, and they will go back to their caves and start fighting. So to prevent that, we have to look at their issues very sympathetically. That's why we refrain from reprimanding them for these violations. But then I asked, how about the majority? You are talking about, then you are discriminating against the majority in Sri Lanka. He said, you people are decent fellows, you are Democrats. You see, if you get angry, we can always talk to you, you see, and discuss these issues and come to an amicable settlement. Whereas LTT will not understand these nuances. So that's the reason we have to we are seen to have taken the LTT side. But that doesn't matter. But Norway has played a very, very bad role. You see, I must say that in recent issues, they tried their best to stop the war, to save the terrorists, in fact. And also they have given a lot of assistance to Norway, the high frequency equipment in 2002 for LTT transmissions, and taking LTT peace delegations to arms factories in Norway. This kind of again, another reason for that, there's a large number of the diaspora Tamils in Norway, and whereas only about 250 Sinhalese are there. So they and most of the Tamils have taken up nationality. So because of that, they are voters, and there's an elected municipal councillor Balasingham and several other in various local bodies, they were elected. So because of that, I think they are taking the side of the Tamils.
Yes, Mr. Senadhira, we will go for a short break and be back with you. Stay with us.